it's Sierra, Onyx's daughter, and because it's Tuesday, I've got our Tuesday team training call for you today. So enjoy and make sure to subscribe.
Aloha and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be today on this beautiful 14th of June, my daughter's 36th birthday, Trump's birthday, lots of people's birthday today. And all of those people that we have in our team, I know we got some coming up, happy birthday. And now, more importantly, kick it down to Onyx in Rhode Island. I guess that's across the country. Over.
Cross country. Good morning, everyone. It's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous day here. And what a great week we're going to have. I can already tell everything's been buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. Corporate has one of my favorite specials running this week. I don't know if somebody has it keyed up. I didn't see Beamy. I don't know if Beamy's on this morning, but maybe we can pull it up. Do you have it there, Sheila? It's a upgrade. It's an upgrade and a sponsor special. So it's an extra product introduction bonus for everyone this week. So we'll see if we can get that pulled up. And I wanted to remind everybody that on Thursday, that's in 2 sleeps at 3 o'clock Eastern, Sierra and I are going to do a YouTube live, which will be a drawing for 6 sleeves of X39. So that was for getting that channel up to 1,000 subscribers. We did a drawing for 9 sleeves. The first drawing we did was not live. So we had 3 people send in a note and the other 6 sleeves were never claimed. So this time it was not that it wasn't live. It was that we didn't require you all to be on there. So this time y'all are going to have to be on there in order to have a chance to win. So that's at 3 o'clock Eastern in 2 sleeps. So on Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern, and you'll find the link to get onto the YouTube live. You can just go to the channel, but you'll also find the link to get onto it on the Facebook page. Okay. Now, do you want to pull the special up for this week?
I am working on doing that right this second.
Okay, we can do it at the end if needed. Now, today we have somebody very, very special. We're going to have a question and answer session with Jill. We're going to go for 45 minutes again. This call is going to go to a 45-minute call from now on. And what you guys probably don't know about Jill, besides the fact that she's just the little love bug and just so heart-centered, it's beautiful. I love spending time with her. I love just being in her energy. But beyond all of that, she's a really neat, interesting girl. But she also personally signed Laura Eisenhower. Now, if you don't know who Laura Eisenhower is, she is the great-granddaughter of the president, Dwight Eisenhower, the previous president, Dwight Eisenhower. She's a big influencer. I think she has a YouTube channel of 117,000 people. So I figured you all would enjoy asking Jill some questions in regards to influencers, because they are a very big part of our industry. Totally different than the way Mary Lou is building from last week. And as we've always said in this team, there is no right way or wrong way. There's a way that works best for you. And the beautiful thing about this group is everybody is so open and sharing, and we can all learn. There's 10 pairs of size 9 sneakers in front of us. I like this part of this sneaker and this part of this sneaker, and you use what works for you. It's not about you becoming me or you becoming Marcy or you becoming Peter or Sheila or Jill or anyone else. It's about you figuring out how to be the best you that you can be, so that you can build your business as big as you like. All right. How are we doing, Sheila?
Well, welcome to Miss Jill Bazan. I hope I said that right.
Suzanne.
Bazan. I love your last name. It'd be great with words on friends.
I'm glad Onyx gave that introduction, because I really wasn't sure what we were.
How you're
I
gonna
saw
do it.
someone on Facebook. I don't know, Jill. I don't know what to ask her.
And
that was Bob. That was Bob.
It wasn't Bob.
Yes, it was Bob.
So, Jill, what have you been doing lately since we last chatted? What has kicked your business up to the moon?
Well, the thing that Onyx just mentioned did give me a lift for sure, and also helped me to. I would just like to give a little introduction to myself before getting into that, because a lot of people don't know me, and I think I'm also have a little bit of a extraordinary situation here, because I'm not full-time, meaning I actually have a full-time fairly busy business. I'm a broker in the natural foods industry, and I've been doing that. I'm in my 27th year, and I manage a team, and my territory is the state of Florida, which is a very large state, and I represent multiple brands, so not just one brand, but multiple brands in the products that you would find at Whole Foods or any of the health food stores that you shop in. And I kind of, I've been doing it for so long, and it's just so natural to me. And but I always thought if I ever found a network marketing company that I could do on the side, and build on the side while I was doing this, that it would be a great thing to do, in my older years. Or I like to work. I don't ever see myself like not work. I like to work. I like people, and I love helping people. I love amazing products. And so I thought if I found something that was really unique and I could really resonate with the company, maybe I would do it. And so I've been in LifeWave now, it'll be 3 years in August. And this was the company. Like, I pretty knew early on, like, this was the company. I found the company found me, even though I actually heard about LifeWave when LifeWave started. But I put those patches in a drawer for 15 years. And that's a true story. Someone gave me patches in 2000, the energy enhancer patches in 2004, and I was just like, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with her. I even poo-pooed network marketing, and I'd say, I'm not a network, because everybody was always calling me because I'm a sales rep for network marketing, and they'd say, oh, I know you're in sales, you should check this out. And I'd be like, well, I kind of was snotty about it. Well, I don't sell to my friends. I sell to people whose job it is to buy from me. I was just like arrogant about it. But the truth is, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, started to, as the years went by, I have a few inspirations in my life who are in other companies, who are in my industry. One of them is he's the Onyx Coale of another company. And he's a superstar, and he did exactly what I do. And he worked this company for 10 years while he was still repping, and he became their top person. So he's like he was my inspiration. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of background. So I've been doing this.
Tell everybody, Jill, what you told me this weekend about your income now with LifeWave versus your income from one of your top lines.
So I've been a rep for
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that any better?
I think that was an accident. Jill, go on.
Okay. So my monthly income with LifeWave now, it's not exceeding my total business income from my business, but it's exceeding actually kind of by quite a bit what has been my top brand for many years. In my business, you have like a couple big lines, then you have a lot of small lines, and when you put it all together, that's your business. So because I'm not on salary with anyone, no benefits, no hotel, I pay for everything out of my commissions. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it's really exciting because LifeWave is now, it's now surpassed all of my the couple of top brands that I have had for many years. And that's the other thing. I mean, I have had there's two brands I'm thinking about. One I've been with for 21 years, the other I've been with for 15 years, and I've only been with LifeWave for 2.5 years. And honestly, if I had been full-time, or because I was calling it a side gig, I kept calling it a side gig. Well, I'm not calling it a side gig anymore. I actually am starting to feel like that is my side gig. I hope none of my bosses are on this call, but I'm a little nervous about having this be online, and that's another thing. I'm over that too. I'm over it. I did my route this week up in the Panhandle. I enrolled one of my stores. I'm not hiding this anymore. I'm proud of it. I'm super glad grateful and glad that it was brought to me, because it's great. And I don't even feel like it's a side gig anymore. So
That is spectacular, Jill. I'm
Pretty cool story, huh?
well,
amazing.
meanwhile, when COVID started, I was here and I had more time and I wasn't traveling as much, and I started tapping into different people online and that I resonated with, that I related to, that were speaking my language on many levels. I won't get into that. And one of them was Laura Eisenhower. So I've never heard, I didn't know who she was. I didn't know about her. But I really liked what she had to say and what she was about. And I reached out to her, and without getting into all the details, it took a long time. It wasn't an overnight thing that I called her up and she signed up. It wasn't like that. It took a long time. And I was very, very patient. And if anything, this business really more, I mean, I would say I definitely kind of learned it in the other business as well. You know, it took me a long time to get that other business going. I didn't start with a job. I just started with a single product. I'm talking about my sales rep business. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a business card. Someone loaded an herbal tea into my trunk, and I drove to health food stores across the state and started cold calling. And I'd stand there for an hour and a half till someone would give me, like, and they'd say, "Can I help you?" And I like, they'd be like, "Because I have a product, you know." And they say, "Well, how do I get it?" I said, "Well, it's in my car." And like nobody does that anymore. That was in the 90s. Like nobody does, you know, you don't, it's not even heard of these days. But it taught me, you work your business every day. Like Onyx says, you work your business every day. You just put energy into it every day. And my belief is, if it's a good thing, it's going to work. If it's not a good thing, it might not work because you're not meant to do it. But if it's a good thing and you just work it every day, then something's going to happen. And I developed an extremely successful brokerage in the natural foods industry, and it really wasn't my plan. I just followed the signs and followed the leads, and it happened. So with this business, it just feels it's the same. It's just water it every day, work it every day. And I do what Onyx says, you know, I work it into my life because I have a lot of things going on other than this. And so that's what I wanted to tell everybody. I want to inspire anybody else that's fully engaged in something else, that this is possible to develop this no matter what.
A question for you, Jill. Do you have any of your the places that you sell your other stuff to? Do you have any of them as downline for LifeWave? Have you done that?
I have two customers. One just happened the other night because I decided I'm not holding back anymore. Okay. And the other is someone I'm very close to that I didn't have any issues about what she, you know, and but she hasn't, you know, she signed up last year, but she hasn't moved in. She hasn't moved forward. She hasn't even put a patch on yet. She's an extreme situation. She bought a gold pack and hasn't put one on. So, you know, that's not an inspirational story.
But so you are,
for the most part, this is all my business is non-related to that business. Okay. I did not achieve what I've achieved because I do that. It's been almost completely separate.
Okay.
I'm
And so are you going
starting
to start crossing the lines now?
but
Because you're
now
having
I'm
this
crossing and I'm actually reaching out to other people that do what I do because that business is also changing very rapidly.
Okay.
That's a fact. And that's part of what, it just is. So it's great because now I have something I can offer my peers, my associates. Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, and that's really wonderful in today's world because we've all experienced this whole crazy twilight zone for 2.5 years, right?
yeah.
And what you're being able to do is to show someone else that you've recovered from it. And even though you're in this other changing industry, that you have come up out on top and that you can help them, you can show them how to achieve that as well. So that's kudos to you, beautiful girl.
Well, like this week, I've been sharing I shared with them some of the numbers, for them to, this thing of in 2018, LifeWave made $25 million and now they're making 25 million a month.
Month.
I told that to one of my buyers this week up on the Panhandle, and he was like, "Sign me up, sign me up, like that's huge because that's well, the natural foods industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but it's not multi-billions going to the health food stores.
That's right. That's right. It's going to the manufacturers, isn't it?
But and it's coming from online business.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it is wonderful to
Maybe I
have.
said enough things for questions. I mean, well, I didn't, if you want to hear more about the Laura, I think Onyx wanted me to say a little bit more about how I structured that.
Would love to hear about that.
I mean, without getting
Well,
into all the deep.
it's not, the question wouldn't be, Jill, about how you structured it. To me, it would be when you sponsor a influencer, like Beamy sponsored Prime or you sponsored Laura Eisenhower, it takes a different kind of work is what I'm watching from both of you in how you are managing the person that you sponsored, because they have very little time and their contacts are cold contacts. So I'd love for everybody to hear how you've been able to help make Laura as big of a success as possible because you were the right sponsor for her.
Okay. So Laura, like as Onyx said, we had an agreement in the beginning. I mean, she first of all, she had to embrace the product, which she has. She's not going to she's not going to, promote or sponsor something that she didn't believe in. So we established that. And she's very busy. She's hard to get a hold of sometimes, but she always comes back around. And so what I've been doing is basically I set her up. She did an interview with David Schmidt, and I was ready for it because at that point, she'd been on board for a few months and there were some people had come in. She had her website posted on her website, and some people had come in, but we when the David Schmidt interview hit, there was kind of a deluge, and I created a web page for her, which I've also have I created for myself and for anyone that wants it in my downline. It's really simple, but it actually has links to Start X39. It links to, I have written out instructions for how to sign up either as a preferred customer, retail, or distributor. And then I have the link to her website. And then I have bullet points, and then I have a picture of a dog. And it says, "Pets love the patches too."
That's perfect.
And it's like anybody can do. I mean, my son helped. I'm not a web person, but my son kind of gave me the fast track class on how to build a website. And I do recommend, that it's nice to have like a one-stop shop like that where somebody can go on and see the things we're offering. And I also have a separate URL, instead of doing for myself and for Laura and for some of the other people in my group, we have separate URLs instead of lifewave.com / we have a URL that links to that. That way nobody else can somehow get on someone else's site. So I set that up for her. I set up an email for her that comes to me, a Gmail that comes to me. And on that platform, I have my contact information so they can reach out to me. So what happened was it went up, and people just were signing up. A lot of retail customers, a lot of preferred customers, and a bunch of distributors. And so because I'm also running her back office, so I have all the information. So I basically have a separate Gmail with for all the interactions with her people, her downline, and they had access to me because my information was there, and I had access to them, and I reached out to them. And I've met some of the most, I don't know if any of them are on the call today. I don't look through the names. I think Leslie might have been on the call, but I've it's really been wonderful because I've met some really amazing new people. And every single one of them that has come through her, there's and some of it has to do with her and how we are all kind of on the same page about certain things, and just life in general right now. So that part's been really easy. It's been really easy to connect for me with every single one of them. It's almost like like we are kind of like a soul family. It's like a sub soul family that is forming through LifeWave, through Laura. And I've so yeah, I
Jill, so when you set that site up for her, the David interview hit, so people go to the site, but they connect with you. Is that correct? You are taking
connecting with me is optional.
Okay, so is she signing them up, or who's signing them up?
They're doing it on their own, or they connect to me.
Okay.
Because I mean, I can only connect to who connects with me.
Certainly.
Right? Unless they're already signed up, then I connect with them. If they sign up on their own, I connect with them. If they reach out to me, because my information's there and and a lot of them did. Quite a few of the distributors reached out to me before signing up. And that was part of the instruction was, please reach out to me and I will guide you on the best way to come in, on the packages. That was part of the instructions. And then there's people who don't want to do that. They just, and the first week, which was like the biggest week so far, at the final hour on Sunday night, somebody bought a diamond kit.
Wow.
And he clearly does not want support because I've reached out to him and he's not responding. And I see he's brought in some customers, and I'm not gonna I can't force him to, it's okay. I also have a opening letter with all of our resources, so everybody gets that. And this is still a work in progress. I'm only in month 2. It's still a work in progress, but basically, I'm just working personally with each person that wants to work with me.
Okay. But so Laura is pretty much just the interviewer person talking to David and promoting it, but she's not literally going in and signing people up or telling people about the patches one-on-one unless it's in her own private time.
Exactly. yeah, she's not, yeah, I don't know how much she personally is, promoting.
Okay.
I know she told me she was sending some to a friend, but she's she's we're that hasn't, no. I'm she's putting it out there.
Correct. And this is the bridge I wanted you all to see, is that if you sponsor an influencer.
Onyx, you're sort of breaking up.
Yeah. So I think where Onyx is headed possibly is that if you sponsor an influencer, then you have to be engaged because they are so busy that they will be promoting verbally maybe, or maybe putting up a piece of like a post or something for you, but they're not going to be actively out there recruiting people, signing them up, putting them in the positions, building those legs.
And
And
she
so
told me
that's
from
where
the
Jill
very
comes.
beginning, like she's not doing that. She's
Mhm.
yeah. The beautiful part of this though is that, because I chose an influencer that I can relate to, and the people that are coming in like her because they relate to her. In other words, there's a lot of influencers out there, and it's just been really flowing in terms of being able to work with everybody. There's a certain there's like an openness and responsiveness it's almost, I don't know any of them, but yet it's like, it's very easy to feel like even maybe like I sponsored them, even though I didn't. I don't know if does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me. It really does. I'm
But
not sure
it's
what that.
also just kind of how, I mean, it's easy for me to relate to people in general. I can relate to a lot of different, I can meet people where they are pretty easily anyway. But this has been super easy to meet people where they are because there's a camaraderie here amongst her community. She actually has, if you subscribe to her, it's cosmicgaia.org. She has a community. She does Zoom calls. She spends time with her subscribers. She's super down to earth. Like that's her thing. Like she is super down to earth. She wears her heart on her sleeve. And so people that are drawn to her are very comfortable with that.
Yes.
And lots of, people that are, into healing and natural health and, personal development.
So Jill, I think it's we've got about 14 minutes left on this timeline here, so I'm going to open it up. Who has questions? And it's Cosmic Gaia, GAIA.org, I believe. Is that correct?
That's Laura Eisenhower's website.
Yes. Cosmic. Oops. Trying to spell it here. Gaia.org. Okay, that's Laura Eisenhower. Vicki, please unmute, doll.
Hello, I just wanted to thank you very much for sharing what's worked for you, Jill. And I wanted to ask, how did you originally approach this lady and in getting contact with her?
Good question. So I subscribed to her channel. I became a subscriber, and she offered a 15-minute reading. She does card readings, and she's an astrologer. So she offers 15-minute card readings to anyone that subscribes to her. So I reached out to her and we scheduled a 15-minute meeting, and she came on and she wanted, and she said, well, what are your questions? Like she was going to read cards for me. And I said, well, I don't really want to read it. I said, I don't want a reading. I said, I just want to talk to you.
And was she cool with that?
Well, she was totally cool. I think she was relieved because I think she was relieved because I didn't, I don't know. It was different, right? So, um, she was really wonderful, and I and I told her about myself, and well, first I told her about what I do. Oh, well, no, first I told her, and I do want to say this. First, I told her how grateful I was that I had found her, because I didn't tell you this part, and I don't want to get into any issues here, but when I found her at the beginning of COVID, and I was very concerned about what was going on, and I was really searching online for, like, hello, reality check here. And I found her and a video of hers, and I was like, wow, who is this woman? I want to, and I started to, listen to more things that she was doing. So at the beginning of COVID, she was like a lifeline for me out there, So I told her that first, and that's true. And then I told her, about me and what I do. And then I started talking about my other business, and because I know she's into herbs, and I mentioned the company that I rep for, the main company, and she literally pulled a bottle from that company. She goes, "Oh my God, I use that," and she shows it to me like this. So I did that,
Wow.
and then there was a few more minutes left, and I said, I'd like to tell you about something else, and I pulled out the patches and I showed her, and she said, "Oh, wow." And she said, "Is that something, that sounds really cool. I'd like to try that." And she said, "Is that something I distribute that?" I was like, "Sure." And then I sent her a care package with patches and with samples of other things. And that's how it started. So I just made friends with her.
Wow.
I
That's
mean,
amazing.
yeah. And we had other things in common, and we had, you know so, and it took a while. That was August of 2020, and she didn't sign up till December of 2021. I actually had, like, there were months spans where I didn't even talk to her, or, it wasn't like we started having this everyday friendship or anything. There was months that went by, and then I just would pop back in again, and she'd say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I really want to do that," or, "Let's get together." And I just had to keep being patient.
And so were you the one that suggested that she interview David?
Well, um, when I first connected with her, um, I talked to Onyx about what, if she came on board, what could we do? What, maybe we would have an interview with, because that's what she does. She does interviews with people.
Right.
So would we have an interview with Onyx? And I think, and I remember this was back then, I said, "Wow, Onyx, do you think maybe we could get David to do an interview with her?" you know? And Onyx was like, "Maybe, why not?" That was back when I first reached out to her. And then when the time came, um, I wrote a letter to David asking him, and Onyx forwarded it to David, and he agreed.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
and I just want to say, I mean, thank you so much, Onyx. You know how much how grateful I am, and I mean, this company is extraordinary. The fact that, like, really any one of us can do this our own way at our own pace, and yet be able to access, the gift of, I don't know if it's like this with other leaders, but at least with Onyx, we have this gift of being able to access her so easily and have her support. And David Schmidt, I mean, this company's in 76 countries.
Jill, I concur because when I asked Onyx if maybe we could have David on the show, 2 years ago, I never in my wildest dreams ever imagined to be having a conversation, not just hi at the convention and a quick hug or something and a thank you to him. But the leadership here goes above and beyond any leadership. I've for God's sake, I owned 3 McDonald's, and they never connect with you on a level of true connection, And so David is truly special. So thank you for that question, Vicki. It was really wonderful.
This team is truly special. We are really lucky to have so many incredible leaders who are not worried about upline, sideline, cross line, upside down line, and everybody is sharing open-heartedly to help everybody grow. And that is what is so special to me. I feel very lucky to be one person in this amazing, amazing team. Jill, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I wanted you all to really, go ahead, Jill.
I want to say one more thing that's really the most beautiful part of this is that by Laura being willing to put this out there and the people that are coming in, I mean, some of the testimonials from the distributors, I mean, I've talked about my relationship with them and all that, but like the testimonials have been phenomenal. And so that's like the biggest gift of all. And I did have a little call with some of them. I did a small testimonial call with just each other so that some of them could meet each other and share with each other and hear each other's results. And it's just so magnificent. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty special place. It's a pretty special time, and it's special because we all choose to be here together. It's so nice to be a light worker and not be standing alone anymore, and actually being able to be with each one of you and you with me. It's wonderful. I think we all feel the blessing of this environment that we've created, and it takes all of us. It's not any one person, it's all of us. So what a special, special call, Jill. Thank you so much for sharing. I wanted everybody to sort of see, because I do believe that influencers are the wave of the future for network marketing and many companies, but it's a different, if you are lucky enough to be able to sponsor an influencer, I want you to understand that it's a different kind of work. You, like anybody you sponsor, you go to work for them, but this is a different type of work. And as Jill said, it's Laura's not taking the calls, Jill's taking the calls and helping Laura's people figure out what's the best place, how to sponsor, how to get enrolled, et cetera, et cetera. So she's managing cold contacts in order to help build the business. And it's fine. They're like-minded people. It's just more friends. It's beautiful. But I wanted you all to just be able to hear what it might be like, because we all are seeing more and more influencers, whether they're micro influencers or much larger influencers like Laura, come into the market.
And Onyx, when you say the word influencer, being an old lady, 58, I'm like, what's an influencer? It makes me think of TikTok and Instagram. And that is truth. That is truth. However, for some of us that don't play on TikTok or Instagram, what Jill is saying, she went in and looked for someone that she could listen to gain wisdom, knowledge, surety. And so think about all of the people that we listen to. I mean, oh my gosh, my husband listens to many people along the lines of Laura Eisenhower, and I never even thought, reach out. And it's not just like, I think I remember the original podcast that Jill sent me that Laura was on. It was like 5 or 6 women talking about what was going on and what they were perceiving. It was beautiful. And I literally said the same thing. I called Jill back. I was like, who is that one? And she's like, what? I'm like, who is that one? I like what she's saying. Oh, that's Laura Eisenhower. I'm like, who is she? I didn't know. But then think about it. So many of us spend time listening to podcasts and listening to different teachers in that way. There's nothing stopping any of you from reaching out to those people. Many of them have huge channels. They are influencers. They operate in a different way maybe than you and I, but you still have a connection to them, just like
Jill had the connection to Laura, and influencers are going to be a major part of the network marketing industry as it continues to mature and grow. The companies that do not pay attention to the influencers are going to lose out. I think Longevity last year did $2.1 billion in sales, and 60% of their sales were done by influencers. So they're definitely a part of the market. And you could have a micro influencer that's got a following of 1,000 people, all the way up to a really big influencer like Laura Eisenhower that's in the 100,000. So yes, you can reach out to people that inspire you, that touch you, and you never know. You know, you may get their attention, you may not. It's no different than meeting somebody at the gym or meeting somebody who's training you. You may get their attention, you may not. Doesn't matter. Every single day, I'm working my 331, 331, 331. Beautiful call.
There's one more point that's important about these. I mean, you know, there are professional influencers. That's what they do for a living. Laura's not a professional influencer. She's an educator, and she's a podcast. She has podcasts. She has interviews. But that doesn't mean that she has. A lot of these people need support financially.
They need income. They need income. So they need a way.
They might have an interview. They might be online every day, and you watch them every day, and they might be absolutely broke. Half of them last year, the people that were controversial, lost their YouTube channels. That's and right. They had income from that, but they were taken down. She was taken down, and now she put it back up, but she probably had more than that amount of subscribers, 3 years ago. So there's that. And that's why they are doing, besides the fact that they like these brands or whatever, they're doing it to support the work that they're doing. They don't get paid much for the work. They don't get paid for the work that they're doing. I cannot mention any names, but there are other people out there who many of us have been following to learn about certain things going on. And some of them are absolutely broke. And just because they're famous to a certain extent doesn't mean that they have income. So I'm also helping. This is a service. This is my way of giving back to her. I'm giving back to her. I'm supporting her with what she has been giving to everyone very, very generously, in a very, very, what's the word?
She's a service-oriented person to give back to humanity is what she's doing.
She's here to help humanity. I'm here doing this business, which helps humanity, and helping her do what she does. And then all the people that come in are benefiting, and we're all helping each other. So just because you see somebody online doesn't mean that they don't also need support.
Yep.
Jill,
That's a great point. Thank you, Jill.
Jill, what you're saying is the proof of an open heart. That's what it's all about.
That's right, Sandy, an open heart.
Yep.
Wow. Onyx, we are at the end. Jill, I want to say thank you so much, because I think that you've made us aware of a big opportunity. And if you are willing to say yes to the uncomfortable, as my good friend Marcy taught me, then you can just reach out to people in different ways. And Onyx, what do you got to throw down here in the last
everybody,
few seconds?
Did we get the special that's running this week from corporate?
If you scroll up quickly in the chat, it is
You'll
near
find
the
it in
top. There is a
Okay.
PDF that you can do. Otherwise, it is over on
the team
Quantum
Facebook
Team
page.
group.
Yep. So you'll find it there. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic week. Jill, thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you for being so open-hearted and inspiring all of us as always. You're just a doll baby. I appreciate it.
Asking
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody, have a great week. Hi, Beamy.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, guys. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Sheila. I admitted Ronald Reagan too.
Thank you, David, for helping us out today. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that very much.
Thanks, Jill.
Yeah.
Great
All
to
You're
right.
welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
And I watch Laura all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. Laura
said
is
that?
great.
Judy.
Judy.
At Chill.
I
Yeah.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.